So I came up with this beautiful popcorn design, I think like 2 years ago. I call it popcorn because it looks like tiny, tiny pops all around. And I've always wanted to show you guys how to do it. But I've realized that I made this with t-shirt yarn and metallic yarn. You can see the golden metallic stripes in between the t-shirts here. Not everyone has access to t-shirts here, right? So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this design using your regular acrylic yarn. And in order to use simple yarns like this, you're going to have to triple it, double it, do whatever you have to do to make it chunky. And we're going to start with showing you how to triple your yarn to get a chunky feel, so your bag can be as bold as the original design. So let's get started. For this tutorial, you're going to need this is acrylic yarn. The name of the brand is Encore Tweed. Now you don't have to use this exact brand. You need probably an 8-ply yarn or something thicker. You can see the strand, and I'm going to be doubling it to get the consistency that I need. I'm going to use just 3 of these. I don't think I'll be able to finish it, so 2.5 should do, but you can get 3 if you can get your hands on this brand. It's quite nice. It's, let me read it, 75% acrylic, 22% wool, and 3% rayon. Approximately 200 yards, and I'm going to budget 3 of these for my project. Now I'm going to need a magnetic button, like a clasp that I could open and close like this. And I'm going to need needle and thread to sew on as well. So magnetic clasp and needle and thread. I'm going to need stitch markers. 4 is enough, any type of stitch marker that you can get. A tapestry needle to sew in your ends, a pair of scissors, and last but not the least, I'm going to need a 5mm crochet hook. That's the hook size I'm going to be using, is 5mm. Now, like I said, if you can get your hands on any type of 8-ply yarn, it will be good for you, because we're going to be tripling how thick this already is, because we want our bag to be chunky and squishy and thick, right? We don't want it looking bubbly at all. So get your yarn on an 8-ply yarn, get ready to triple it, and let's start working. The first thing I'm going to be showing you is how to triple your yarn, right? Regardless of the yarn that you have, because I'm going to be tripling it to work with it. I want to have 3 strands at the same time. Excuse me, I'm trying to get it all. Okay, I have it here. Now, in order to triple your yarn, I'm going to get this out of the way now. You want to have this tail right here on your left hand. If you are right-handed, or if you are left-handed rather, please just switch anything I'm saying. This is on my left hand. Then you want to join it to your yarn to form 2 strands like this. Let me make it shorter so you can see what I mean. So you join, this is the tail and this is my yarn. Join it to your yarn, and then you come again till you have 3 strands. Again, you have the tail, this small tail here. You join it to your yarn once, and then you join it to your yarn twice. Now, once you have done this, you are going to go ahead and make a chain. Now, if you don't know how to make a chain, I already showed you how to in my previous video, so please do well to watch it. Make a chain, and now we want to show you how to triple yarn. So what you're going to do is, there's going to be a loop here from when you were joining the yarns together. So you're going to go ahead and bring all your yarn out, and then you stretch it. So this is the way you're going to have 3 strands to work with all through. That being said, you're going to go ahead and make a chain of 12. Chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So once you have 12 chains, you want to go ahead and add 1 more chain to give a turning chain before you start your single crochet row. Now, if you want to make your bag bigger, I'm using my phone as the measurement here. I just want it to fit a phone. That's how small I want my bag to be. If you want your bag to be bigger, please chain 20, chain 40, chain 50, however big you want your bag to be. But I don't want you to be restricted to me chaining 13 and think you have to chain 13 as well. It doesn't work that way. So now that I've chained, I've done the turning chain, I'm going to go ahead and make one single crochet in every stitch until I get to the end. I believe you know how to make single crochet by now. If you don't know how to make single crochet, please refer to my other videos. And now that I'm at the end, because I want to make a small circular point here, I'm just trying to give it a base, so it's like an oval on this side and this side. I'm going to make 3 single crochet on the last stitch here. So we have 1, 2 and 3 single crochet. And once you have made 3 single crochet, you're going to go ahead and make 1 single crochet in every other stitch. Continue making single crochet, and please tuck in the tail, because that's what I did here. Tuck in the tail of your project. Once you get to the end, now that you're at the end, let me take it out for you to see the end. Now that you're at the end, you're going to make 3 single crochet in this same spot, just as you have done here. So 1, 2 and 3 single crochet. Now for the next row, you want to go ahead and join to the top of the last single crochet that you did. You bring out your yarn and then you bring it all out to chain 1. My chain 1 count as 1 and make 10 single crochet before I get to the next corner. Now that I have 10, I'm at this corner here. Now on the corner that you have here, you know you have 3 single crochet. We want to expand it on this row, so we're going to have 2 single crochet on every single stitch. Now this is just a basic oval bag base. If you don't know how to make an oval bag base, please take your time to check my previous videos. I've already taught it, but I'm just showing you again so you can refresh your mind. You're going to have 2 single crochet in every stitch for the corner part. That's the one that fans out for this sketch. So 1, 2 in one stitch like this, and the next one you have 2 single crochet, and the last one you have 2 single crochet. And remember, you're supposed to have 10 single crochet before you work on this next corner. So I'm going to go ahead and make 10 single crochet. Once you have the 10 single crochet, remember what you did in the last corner. Make sure you have 2 single crochet in every stitch for this part. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Now that you have everything completed for the base, because this is enough for me, if I check, yeah, my phone can fit. I think this is enough for me. If you want to make it bigger, then just basically do a bigger oval base if you know how to make an oval base, and then you miss me where you start bleeding your bag. Now to join it or to start the popcorn now, you are going to go to the previous, that's the last, on the last row, the first single crochet that you did on the last row. Just like you are joining to a new row. These are terms that shouldn't be so new to you. That's why I'm not taking my time to dig deep into it so that we can move fast through this tutorial. But I want you to understand at the same time. Go to this part and join your work like this. Then you chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now making a chain of 5 is not compulsory for every popcorn, but this is how fluffy I want mine to be. If you want your popcorn to be more 3D bolder, you can chain 7, but this is just what let me show you mine. So this is just what comprises every single popcorn, and I think this is more than 5 chains. This is probably 6 chains because it's quite longer than what I have here. That's why I'm saying that you don't need to necessarily chain 5. I like to explain all these things so that you are not restricted to what I say. You watch this video and you go and do something entirely different and be creative with it. I'm chaining 5 because that's what I would feel like, but if you want yours to be longer and more creative, you can do as many chains as you want to. So like I said, once you have chained 5, we have started making the popcorn. You're going to go to the back loop. Now let me show you what the back loop is. This is the front loop and this is the back loop here. Front loop and back loop here. We are going to go through this loop on every single stitch for the popcorn part. Now once you have chained 5, you want to go through the back loop of the next stitch and make a slip stitch to tie your popcorn down. So you have the first one secured. Now you go ahead and chain 5 again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you have chained 5, you do what? You go ahead to the next stitch and make a slip stitch. And to make a slip stitch, let me show you slowly. You go to the back loop like I've shown you. Bring out your yarn and then you bring it all out. And then you chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you go to the next one. You go to the next stitch through the back loop, right? You bring out your yarn and then you bring it all out to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to be doing this all across this row through the back loop, making a slip stitch, chaining 5, 3, 4, 5, and then going to the next stitch to make a slip stitch until I get to the end. Now it's important for you to know that I have about 32 stitches on this row. I'm supposed to have 32 popcorns. So make sure that after every row, count your popcorn one by one. Sounds like count your blessings one by one. Make sure you count your popcorns one by one to be sure that you have the correct number of popcorn. If you have, maybe you chained 20 and then you had this increase on the corners and you have probably 40 stitches, you're supposed to have 40 popcorns. So I have 32 popcorns. Make sure that you count your popcorns to be sure that you have the correct number. And I'll meet you right here so we can go to the next row. Now that I've done 31, I have one more popcorn to do 32. So I'm going to do the last one, 4, 5, and join to my last popcorn. Now what we want to do is we want to go to the next row. Now this is going to look confusing, but it's not. The next row, you're going to be working on the front side. You know, initially you picked the back side of the loop of the previous row. So this is the corresponding front side that you're going to be putting a single crochet on. That means I have 32 depending on the number that you have, you're supposed to have 32 single crochet worked across this front part alone. So you're going to start by anchoring your project to the first one and chain one. Then you go ahead and make single crochet on every single stitch. That's every single front looped stitch until you get to the end. I have 32, depending on the number of stitches you have. So just keep doing this, and I'm going to meet you when you have something like this going across until you get to the end. Now that I've done the single crochet all across, you can see that it's starting to gradually make sense. We are going to go ahead and join. So let me make the last one. One more single crochet. Then I'm going to go ahead and join to the top. That's the very first single crochet we have here. To close it up, and then like we've been doing, chain words, chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now after chaining 5, you already know that the next thing to do is another popcorn. So work on the back loop only. Like I've shown you, you leave the front loop alone and work on this back loop here, 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 here. So you're going to plant popcorns like I've shown you. I'll show you again, But this is what you'll be doing for the better part. You make a slip stitch, 5 chains, 3, 4, 5. Make a slip stitch on the next one, back loop only. 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a slip stitch. And this is what you're going to be doing. 3, 4, 5. Make a slip stitch. This is what you're going to be doing until you get to the end. And let me tell you, if you want to mix colors, you want to play with colors, just go ahead and switch your yarn so you don't have something boring. I like this yarn, I like this color, and I'm going plain. I'm going to meet you at the end of this popcorn row. This is what 2 rows currently looks like. So I'm going to do the last popcorn for you to see. So I'm going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'll go into the last space. So I'll have my 32. Remember that you don't need to have 32. Now that I have it completed, I'm going to go ahead, just like we did the previous time, to make 1 single crochet on this back loop. 1 single crochet on this. Now it's back loop, but it's the front loop that we ignored before. So make 1 single crochet. Let me get my yarn together. So I'm going to first of all anchor it to the first one. So you anchor it by making a slip stitch, chain 1, and then you start making 1 single crochet on every stitch until you get to the end. Now that I'm at the end, I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to the top of the previous row that I have and chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I've chained 5, you know what time it is, right? We start making popcorns onto the back loop. So you chain 5 and then you go to the back loop of the next row to slip stitch, chain 5, go to the back loop of the next row to slip stitch, chain 5, go to the back loop of the next row to slip stitch. You are going to do this until you get to the end. And yes, this is basically how you are going to be building your bag. So I currently have 3 popcorn rows. For the size I want to build, I'm going to have 10 popcorn rows. So that means you're going to complete this row, do the single crochet that comes to the front here, make another popcorn. So we can count 3 now. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have an extra 7 to this to make 10. If you want your bag to be as big as a school bag, you can make 20 popcorn rolls. So that means instead of making one that stops here, probably you just keep making your popcorn rolls. You have the size. Remember, I've taught you how to increase it if you want to, and the length that you want. So I'm going to meet you at the end of making this part of my popcorn bag, so we can move to the handle and finishing. So this is what 10 rows of popcorn looks like. As you can see, it's already squishy, it's sturdy. Even if I want to end the design here, let's say I just want to add my zip to make it a very nice wallet, you can already have this, but I still want to make it into a bag with handles, which is why I'm not stopping it. For the upper parts, we already have a single crochet bordering it. We're going to have one more single crochet so that the upper part bulges out, or even 2. So let's do one more single crochet to see what it looks like, and if there's need, we'll add an additional single crochet before we go to the handle. We chain 1, and then you go ahead and start making single crochet in every single stitch. Now that I'm at the end, I'm simply going to join to the top of my projects like this, and I like what I have already. I'm going to go ahead and start the handle straight up. Now to work on the handle, let's snap this off. So you have your bag. Now to work on the handle, it's quite continuous to the bag. If you see what we already have here, you really can't tell it apart. The only difference is, instead of working the popcorn in rounds, you are working it in rows. So you are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you are doing slight increases and decreases. So for example, I need you to understand, because I don't want it to be constricted to a pattern. On this particular popcorn row, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 popcorns. I want you to see it clearly. 7 popcorns on this part. But when you come up, you realize that it has turned to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 popcorns. That means between here and here, we made some slight decrease. So this is just basic increasing and decreasing. So if you're starting with 7, that means the next row is 6, next row is 5, 4. Then when you get to 4, you start being consistent with it. So you have 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, until you get to this part. Then when you get to this part again, you have 4, 5, 6, 7, until the increases again. So that's just the basics of making interesting handles like this, right? You work on increasing here, increasing. You work on increasing here, decreasing till you get to the width of the handle that you want, and then you continue it all around. So I'm just going to continue doing this on my gray bag. Now I'm going to pick the midpoint. I have my midpoint here. I want my handle to go from here to here. So you just use stitch markers to mark it. So I want my handle to, this is off the top of my head, and this is one of the reasons why I don't encourage patterns as much, as because you need to know what you are doing and why you're doing it. So I want my handle to come from here to here. Looks fine. Yeah, it looks fine. And the same thing is happening. I want it to come from here to here. Just make sure that whatever you are doing, the stitches have the same number, here to here. and then it's centralized, right? If you don't centralize it, you're going to have a funny looking handle and it's not going to be nice on your bag. So I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is not 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to add one more here to make it 7, right? That's what I have. So if you don't want your handle to be as wide as this, you can make yours 6, 6. And I'm starting to think I want to make it 6 because I don't want the entrance to be so small. I don't want the entrance to be so small. So now I think 6 is better because it's a small bag. Yes, exactly. So 6, 6, so that we can have all of this for access to dip our hands into our bags and whatnot. Now to start, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pick my yarn, my already tripled yarn. And I'm going to start with a row of single crochet right here. So you go in and attach your yarn to chain 1. Another way people do it, you start by making a slip knot. That's another option. And then you come here and attach your yarn so it's secured. So you can go either ways and chain 1. Now that you have chained 1, you want to go ahead and make a single crochet on every single stitch. So you make a single crochet on every single stitch. Need to get more yarn. On every single stitch. Now that you have done a single crochet on every single stitch, you want to chain 1 and turn your work over. Now I want to start building my popcorn, and logically we were doing the popcorn on the front, on the back part here. I'm going to plant my popcorn on this side because I want it to fall to the back. This is why I say patterns don't really matter. You should know what you are going for, right? So instead of doing it the way we went in rounds, I'm going to go ahead and chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then slip stitch to the front instead of the back like we did round. So I slip stitch to the front, chain 5, 5, I slip stitch to the front, I chain 5, I slip stitch to the front, I chain 5. Excuse me, I need to get more yarn. That's the issue with rippling yarn, but it's always bosses because your project is going to be so fluffy. So fluffy. Now you're going to slip stitch and chain 5. And then slip stitch. Now you can see from here that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 popcorns. Chain 1 and turn your work around. Now this is the point where we want to reduce our popcorn to give that handle effect. So it's a little wider at the bottom, but as you're going to the top, it's smaller. Now what you're going to do is, you chain 5 here for this popcorn. On the part you are going to now for the popcorn, you start to chain 4 to make it look actually smaller. So this is what I mean. I like to be practical. That's why I have these bags close. So this popcorn has chain 6. All of these here, they have chain 6. But for the handle, to actually make it smaller, it's chain 4 for the popcorn part. So these are small things that's going to make your work different. You might think it's not necessary, but by the time you finish your bag, you see why it's important. See how the smaller part is very, very fluid and tiny, and then in contrast to the bigger part of the bag. So that's why it's important. Now we want to make a decrease on this side of your bag. Instead of 5 chains now, we're going to decrease only once to have 3 popcorn stitches now. You know, we have 5. So we want to have just 3 popcorn stitches. Now, how do you do this? Your single crochet, you are going to make sure that you start by making 2 together. Don't know what 2 together means. You need to be calm. You start by making 2 together because you are trying to decrease. 2 together means instead of doing single crochet once, you are going to do 2 single crochet in 2 stitches to reduce it. You bring out your yarn, you make a single crochet, and then lastly, you reduce single crochet, and then you turn around because it's time to make the smaller popcorn now. What you're going to do is, instead of chaining 5 now, you chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, after you've chained 4, now you get more yarn. You are going to continue making your popcorn, because now you need to make just 3 popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make the second popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you make the last popcorn. You chain 1 and turn your work around. So now this is what we're going to be doing. After this, we're going to make single crochet on every stitch like we always do. You make single crochet, then you turn around and make another popcorn row. Let me fetch more yarn. Another popcorn row. That's 3 popcorns, but you're chaining 4 instead of chaining 5, so that your popcorn is smaller. So you chain 4, and then slip stitch, chain 4, slip stitch, chain 4, and slip stitch. See how easy it is now? Chain 1 and turn your work around to make 3 single crochet. So continue doing this, right? 3, 3, 3 popcorn until you think, let me lay the bag down so you can see what I'm designing. Until I think I have what is enough to get to this point. I don't have a particular number in mind. You don't have to cram it. Just keep doing what you are doing until you think what you have is enough to get to this point. I'll give you a number when I'm done so it's easier for you. I'll meet you shortly. Just keep going with your 3 popcorn with chain 4. Now I have something like this. That's why I said you should make sure that it's to your taste. I have 16 of these 3 popcorn rows. That means 1, 2, 3 popcorn rows. And you remember that we are doing 4 chains instead of the 5 chains on the body of the bag. So that means if your bag has 7 chains on the body, the row on the handle should be like 5 chains. So that it's smaller, it's considerably smaller. Sorry. So that it's good. Okay. So that is considerably smaller than the rest of your bag. So I have 16 here, and I'm going to increase. Remember that we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 popcorn stitches. We have it 2 times so that there's a symmetry. What's happening on the right side is happening on the left side. I'm going to go ahead and make an increase row of single crochet from 3 to 5. If you don't know how to increase, just watch closely, and I hope you get it from here because the popcorns and everything is looking so squishy. Now, after you have chained 1, so you're going to go to the first place that you're supposed to do your single crochet. You make 2 single crochet instead of 1. Then you make 1 single crochet on the next stitch. And then on the last stitch again, you make 2 single crochet instead of 1. This way you automatically have made your increase 5 single crochet. Now you chain 4 and go ahead and start planting your popcorn stitches. Slip stitch, chain 4, the slip stitch, chain 4, slip stitch, chain 4, excuse me, slip stitch. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more and popcorn stitch. And lastly, you chain 4 and you slip stitch. So now you have the first 5 row of your popcorn, and then you have one last popcorn row to go. So you chain 1 and turn your work around. So you can start working on the back loop and make 1 single crochet on every stitch. Excuse me, I want to make sure that I get every single loop and none is hiding. Okay, I saw one hiding here. Make sure that you look for these things well, so you don't have issues in your project. Now I'm going to chain 4 and I'll start making the popcorn stitch. And this is the last row. I'm excited. I'm finally getting done. Chain 4, make a slip stitch. Chain 4, make a slip stitch. So I don't know, I should. Chain 4, make a slip stitch, and chain 4, make a slip stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more popcorn, and make a slip stitch. Now that our handle is complete, you just make a row of single crochet before you add it to the back, so that the same thing that is happening on this side would happen on this side. I want your project to be very neat. Don't go through the corners, right? Do it correctly. So we want to chain 1 and then we make a row of single crochet, and this is the last row of single crochet. And make sure you get, there's one that is always hiding, don't know why. Make sure you get him or her. Make a row of single crochet, and now you go ahead and attach this to your bag this way. So what you're going to do is, it might look complicated but really it's not. You're going to turn it inside like this, because we want to make it as seamless as possible, right? You can use tapestry needle. There are so many other ways to join it. Remember that the way you join it, we have stitch markers already here to mark the beginning and the end of where we want the handle here to be. This is why I did not take out the stitch marker, so that you know where to join, right? So you want to go ahead and insert your hook. Just watch me. Like this. And then you go to the first stitch here. Make a slip stitch. So you match every stitch to one another and make slip stitches. Just like that until you get to the very end. Until you get to the very end. And here we are. We already have it joined in such a way that you wouldn't really know that anything different happened here and here. So I'm going to snap off my works. Like this. Now that I'm done with the handle, I want to go ahead and tuck in the ends. I don't think I need to show you how to do this. just tucking in all the ends because I like my projects to be neat. So I'll tuck in the ends, and then I'm going to use what I told you we'll be needing at the beginning of the class, this magnetic button to hold my bag in place. So I'm going to sew this on either side of the bag. This is on one side, and I'm going to sew this part on the other side. Once this is done, I'm going to see you with the finished product of my bag.
I've spent some time with this bag, and I just realized that I don't like the gaping hole here from the single crochet we've done. It's giving headless chicken. I don't like this space. So we're going to work on it together, right? To clear up this space, the first thing you can do is you make sure that you don't do as many single crochet. You just start doing your popcorn right away, right where you want to do the handle. That is here. Instead of doing a single crochet row to join, you don't do that. You just do your popcorn stitch right away. Then the second way, which is like improvising, that I want to show you, is for you to make a slip stitch here so that this side is close up and neat like this, and that's what we want to do now. So this is a last resort. Your bag shouldn't have all these, things that I'm adding to it, but I believe every mistake is a design. So I'm going to do this on this side to close this up, and I'm going to do it on the same side. So let me just show you quickly how I want to go about it. So to get started, I want to first of all tie a slip knot. And remember, this is happening after we have added our snap button. So make sure you add your snap buttons. Tie a slip knot. After you have tied your slip knot, you want to go ahead and join like two rows together and slip stitch it so that this side is a little more seamless and straight. So I want to join, like, at this point I'm just using my, you know I'm just using my intuition. Okay, this is better. So I'm going to just make slip stitches, join it to your yarn like this, and then start making slip stitches like this. Excuse me. That's all you need to do on both sides. Making the last one, and I'm done. So let's check it now. As you can see, the gaping is still there, but it's much better than what we have on this side. So this is the former view. Now this is the new view. So you can decide to adjust it for as much as you want. I'm going to do it on both sides, and yes, I'll see you shortly. Now I very much love what I have now, because as you can see, the former gaping that we had, or the space that we had, has been reduced or almost non-existent. I'm going to go to the last phase, which is adding a strawberry charm. It's crocheted. I'll probably show you a tutorial on this later, but I've had this and I like that it gives a pop of color to my handbag. So I'm just going to add it somewhere like this, and we are done. Thank you for watching. My bag is pretty much done. I've added all the charms needed, and I'm excited to see what you have created. Don't forget to tag me, and remember that there's more from where this came from. This free video, I have tons of videos on how to make, other bags. I wouldn't say tons, but other interesting bag designs, as well as how to finish them properly, how to line in them. So yes, I hope to see you in class. Bye.